Why aren't you listening to me? Doesn't anybody ever listen to me? Listen to me? Listen to me? Listen to me? Blame yourselves for this fucking word salad that I just spit all over the goddamn place. This is all your fault. You and I like me. That's it. I work under the cover of darkness because I don't need the rest of society to look in my eyes and know that is a bad person. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. I put this to you, folks. I have a question for all of you, and you're going to shout out the answer there in your cars as I'm plugged into your iPod vagina as you steamroll down the freeway, or perhaps you're sitting in a cubicle in your office, and I expect you fully to shout out your answer at this point. You give me a weird look. Are we okay? We recording all right? All right. I got a sideways glance there like I wasn't doing this right. I've been doing this for 4 years, goddammit. I think I know what I'm doing by now. Nah, I agree. I don't. I know how to talk. Let's put it this way. That's all I know how to do is talk. I can get that done. I can spit stuff out of my mouth, machine gun style, but who knows what's going to... Actually, this isn't machine gun style. This is just me talking. If it was machine gun style, it would be like an hour of me just going, and that would be fucking terrible, right? That's awful. Reverse Woody Woodpecker laugh. Nobody likes that. Certainly not me. Folks, I have a question. Again, no raising of the hands, no clapping, none of that nonsense. You have to answer me, goddammit. If you want to write me an email and answer me, then I have an official answer from you. But if you just want to say the answer loudly right now in your cubicle or your car or your college classroom or at football practice or in the gym or wherever it is you consume this show, wherever your ears eat it, I have no idea where that would be. But folks, here's my question for you. Do you want to see Lily naked? That's Lily Von Stupp right there. She's the producer of this show. And we just had a conversation where she was saying nobody wants to see her naked. And I'm like, you are incorrect. I think everybody wants to see you naked. I have no idea what you're talking about. And she's like, no. And then she proceeded to tell me why and what for and who doesn't and where they go and where they're from and why they don't want to. And I'm just sitting here nodding going, okay, you can think all that in your crazy fucking batshit head. But trust me, everybody wants to see you naked. You can pretend that they don't and you can go ahead and poo-poo it and stiff arm it and Heisman it and whatever the fuck you want to do. But trust me, people want to see you naked, Lily. I know that's a fact. And she just, no. And let me tell you, you have never had a weirder argument in your life than when you're trying to convince somebody that people want to see them naked. Never before have I ever had that conversation, and probably won't since. I'll be honest, I probably will not since. Because the guys I'm running with certainly don't feel that way because they don't give a fuck. They'll hang their fucking cock out wherever. They don't give a shit. Everybody's going to see them, and that's fine. Nobody cares about being naked, but she's on the fence. Naked, which is actually painful. Oh my God. You have no idea how painful it is to be on the fence naked. Jesus Christ. That's and why do I say you have no idea? Perhaps you do. Perhaps you've been naked on a fence. And then you can just go ahead and, yeah, dude, there's nothing worse. Depends on the fence, of course. Chain link, probably not as painful as like one of those spiky fences they put outside of the fucking Lord of the Rings to keep those orcs out. Yeah, the big fence in Helm's Deep. Didn't they have a huge fucking fence? They had a huge fence. I guess that's really not a fence. It's more of a wall of wood and spikes. I don't think it was a fence. They didn't have the guys from Danley Lumber come over and construct that and put it up. That was more fortified because they knew there was the coming orc wars. The people at Helm's Deep knew that the coming orc wars were going to be there. They said, we better make a strong fence. Nobody there called it a fence. That's me. That's me being silly. It's not a fence, goddammit. All right. Hi. How are you? I'm Mike Schmidt, host of the 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. It's good to have you on board. I got to tell you, I'm nervous right now, folks. I'm a little up in the air. What time is it now? It is 5:30, 5:20? 5:20 p.m. on Wednesday, October something. I don't know. When you have no life and no job, you don't really keep track of the dates, honestly. I know I have a show coming up on the 14th, which is a Thursday, so that's the 7th. So this day is the 6th. There you go. Today's October 6th. I actually had to do a weird meme, like a mnemonic trick there to learn what date it was. That was terrible. All right, hi. I'm a basket case because as I sit here and I talk in Lily's house, the Philadelphia Phillies are playing, trying to clinch their divisional series against the St. Louis Cardinals. You can mock all you want. The game started at 3. And I woke up because, again, you know me, folks. I live upside down. I work all night. I sleep all day. I'm as some guy wrote me this week, he goes, "You are the Mark Slaughter of podcasting." And I said, yes. Aside from the fact that I don't have any talent, yes, I could see that I would be the Mark Slaughter of podcasting. And plus, Mark Slaughter had, one hit? So, yeah, that's pretty much me. Actually, he had 2 hits. They had Up All Night, Sleep All Day, and then they had Fly to the Angels. Fly to the Angels was a big hit for Slaughter, I think.
Really?
I think it was. Look it up. Let's do that. Let's make this entire show a referendum on Slaughter. Let's go ahead and look up all the things they've done. I think I actually I did that once. Didn't we have an entire show devoted to Slaughter? Boy, that seems awful. That seems awful in 2011. God damn it. Perhaps it was in 2010. See, in 2010, it makes sense. Of course, then you'd have a referendum and give it a whole show over to Slaughter. 2011, fuck that. It's in the past. Fuck Mark Slaughter and all that nonsense. By the way, here's a funny story. This isn't funny at all, by the way. I should tell you, I said, here's a funny story. I'm going to go back on that within seconds. I'm going to go back and tell you that this is not a funny story. It's just an anecdote. Take it and run with it. At the graveyard gig, I've talked about, I have a woman there who's like a friend of mine. She started listening to the show.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. She came downstairs and she's like, who were you talking about? Bon Jovi or something like that? Was that? And I go, yeah. I talked about them for about 25 minutes, probably. And I wouldn't stop talking about them. She goes, yeah, that was funny. I'm like, haha, I'm sure it was. Because I think she just wanted to go, what were you talking about that was like forever? And I'm like, yeah, Bon Jovi. Oh, yeah, that was funny. And she ran away. Yeah. But I had a point. Oh, the Phillies. So I'm like, all freaked out now, folks, because I haven't seen the game. I woke up, it's like I said, I'm up all night. So I woke up today and got in the shower and I've avoided Twitter and I've avoided Facebook and I've avoided everything else. I'm TiVoing it on 2 TiVos at my house, just in case one fails. Which seems stupid. And here's why this is dumb, folks. Both of those TiVos connected to the same satellite dish. I don't know if one's going to soldier on and somehow tape the game if the other one gets wigged out because of the weather. And because we have bad weather right now. I don't know if you folks know this. We in Los Angeles, and when I say bad weather, it rained for like 3 hours. That's it. That was our bad weather. And I am not kidding you. The sounds of sirens were nonstop in the streets because nobody fucking knows. They still tailgate. They still drive like assholes. They're still smashing into one another on the freeway. Well, that's it. All right. That seems weird. They're still smashing into one another freeway. That makes it sound like the whole town is Death Race 2000 at all times. That's not the case. David Carradine is dead and Sly Stallone has moved on. This is not Death Race 2000. Although I guess they did remake that with Jason Statham and who else was in there? Ian McShane. There you go. I picked that up. Were you cheering? Are you cheering for Ian McShane, or are you cheering for the fact that I finally figured out who the fuck it was after a stammering nonsense?
I'm cheering for Ian.
I don't blame you. Yeah, that was awful. I used to be quick. All right. What is that now? So you're gonna make like coming like?
Sorry.
That's okay. That's just weird like come here dog noises like where you're. Hey, baby, what are you, really? You're working at a construction site, are you? And Ian McShane walks by? That's my favorite part, too. You don't give, like, no young dudes or anything like that. It's like, nope, I need that 65-year-old British guy with a thick mustache, the fucking soup strainer. That's who you whistle at. All right, good for you. He wants to see you naked. I bet that. I'm sure Ian McShane is like, yeah, I want to see you naked. And you want to see him naked. You want to return the favor.
I do.
Would you? Seriously? No, I'll never mind.
The answer is yes.
The funny thing is I have no microphone for you, and I'm gonna interview you and ask you fucking questions. It's ridiculous. All right, so stupid. Why do you mock? Don't mock with your laughter. No one needs to hear that. Yes, you are. I can see your face. You're absolutely mocking me. These people can't see you. By the way, Lily is naked right now, just to prove a point. She said, you know what? Fine, I'll get naked right now, and we'll see if there's anything that if you can stand it. Of course I can stand it. That's why I'm here. That's why I came in. This is the show I've been dreaming of. Oh, my God. The only reason 4 years ago you took over the show is eventually I knew you would get so comfortable that you'd be naked while we did it. Because you wear less and less. Well, I've talked about that on here before. You walk in and someone's wearing a shirt and panties. You're like, hi. Because she's so used to being naked all the time. Even though, nobody wants to see me naked. What a weird thing to be sad about. All right, so... You weren't sad. You were just saying it. She was stating it matter-of-factly. And I'm like, no, that's not a fact at all. Everybody wants to see you naked. What the fuck? So what was I talking about? Phillies. That's right. Before I started talking about Ian McShane, how the fuck did I even get there? I have no idea. So I'm wigged out, man. I'm freaked out because of the Phillies. And because there's stakes. There's big stakes this year for the Phillies, folks. It's dangerous as a fan of a team to really expect them to win the World Series. That's fucking crazy because then you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. And we're always, like, I expected them to win last year. But then they lost in the playoffs, and it's just this weird, empty feeling. But, I mean, thank God I'm not young. Young, I would sob. I mean, I would just fucking cry and be so sad all the time. And now I just go, drag, and you just move on with your life. And you realize you're an old man who shouldn't care about baseball and these guys who are fucking, mercenaries playing in laundry. But now this year there's real stakes involved. I mean, you're thinking to yourself, well, Mike, it's just baseball. Who cares? It's just the World Series. Nobody cares. You're right. Normally, nobody would care about this sort of thing. But there are real stakes this year involved in the playoffs, folks. There are real stakes involved with the Phillies, and those stakes involve your friend Mike Schmidt. Hi, that's me. Because a couple of months ago, I was in Philadelphia. As I told you, I played a show in Philadelphia and actually went to a Phillies game, and they lost. Like, it was the worst loss of the year. It was they lost 4-1, and they were like shut down by Tim Lincecum. It was so depressing. No, like, I was in the park, no homers, no excitement. It was just grim, terrible, rainy. There was a rain delay. It was like the worst day ever to go to a game. It just so happened to be that was the one I was at. So I went to Philadelphia, as you know, and I did the show there. I did this show. Well, not this show, but I did a show, the live show, the one-man show. And I finished that show. Why am I giving you a blow-by-blow of what I did in Philadelphia? I almost died. We know that. I almost died. I was there in town, whatever. So I did the show. So I get back the next week I do this podcast, and I tell you all that almost happened. I got carjacked or almost and all this stuff. And a week later, a few days later, I get an email. Okay. And the banner, the header of the email is, holy, and instead of shit, they wrote like the cartoon, like the ampersands and all that stuff. Holy shit, I didn't know you were in Philadelphia. Damn it. So I open it up, and it's a letter from a listener. I don't know if she wants me to say her name. It's a woman. And here's all right, this is the email that I get. And I open it up, and it just, the first 2 lines, there's an attachment on the email. I don't know what the fuck it is. So there's 2 lines, and it just says, first of all, I'm including a photo of me with my tennis trophy so you know that I'm awesome. And I'm like, I don't think that's real. That can't be real, right? So they have the attachment, and look, I don't download shit. All right, I download nothing from anybody, especially because I have a Mac. Because Macs never get viruses. But the day that they invent a Mac virus, I know that's the day I'm going to get it. And as I speak to you right now, the one person who could cure that virus on my Mac has unfortunately left us. So I'm not downloading a thing. But I look, I can view on my thing. I can see what they sent, and sure enough, I open it up, and it's a woman with a tennis trophy, just like cute woman in a tennis outfit. That's the thing, is she's wearing like a skirt, like a tennis skirt, and a thing, and she's huge smile, and just holding like a big cup that she won in a tennis tournament. Just, and then she writes, you know what? I'm sorry, I'm behind, and I didn't know that you came to Philadelphia. Which, by the way, how behind are you? I plug these fucking shows mercilessly for the entire year. Like, I the second I book it, I mention it to you guys, and then I fucking flog you with it for weeks and weeks, over and over. So I don't know how fucking behind she was. But she's like, oh my God, I'm so behind. I didn't know that you were here, and I can't believe you had such a terrible time. I would have picked you up at the airport, and you could have stayed with me. It would have been amazing. But she was serious. She's like, I would have picked you up. You could have stayed in my house. I have a huge house. I would have loved to, I would have taken you around town. I would have taken you out to eat. We would have had a great time together. It would have been the best. And but then she's like, but then she's also kind of crazy. Like, she's writing crazy stuff. So in my head, I'm like, I don't know if I would have. I mean, I could, is this the carjackers like posing as white ladies with a tennis trophy to try to trick me? I don't know how it's working. It just seems odd. They're trying to get back at me because they realize I was the one that got away. So, but sure enough, it was this fascinating email, and so and it was very nice. And she said, if you're in Philadelphia, I will pick you up. I will take you out to eat. You can stay with me. It'll be great. So I wrote her back, and I thanked her profusely, and I said, I'm sorry you missed me, whatever. That was very nice. And then I wrote in the email, I said, you know what? I wish you hadn't even explained the tennis picture. I wish you would have just attached it, because I would have looked at it and been, what the fuck is this? Why? I would have thought it was a mistake, except for the fact that the narrative of the letter was expressly sent to me. But I would have thought you attached a tennis photo. It would have just been a mystery that would have been fucking hilarious. So she took that to mean, please send me more random photographs without explanation. So over the past few weeks, I just get emails from her, and I know, obviously I can see her email address, so I know it's from her, and I go, oh, all right. And I open it up, and there's no note. There's no narrative at all. And but there's a photo attached. She sent me a picture. She cut her thumb or her finger, and it was a close up of a stitched thumb, like complete, like with like 12 stitches in the thumb. And I just no explanation at all. Like literally just a close up of a car accident thumb, and I'm like, really? All right. And then she sent another photo where it was just like her at a picnic table with like a bunch of beers in front of her, and she's just smirking. And you know what it made me think of? There's a movie I love called Slacker. All right, and it was made by Richard Linklater, and I think it was his first movie ever. It's just a movie where it's like a chain narrative where it'll start out with two people talking and walking, and then one of them goes into a house and the other person goes away. Well, they follow the person into the house. Then that person talks to a bunch of people in the house, and then one person leaves the house. You follow the person leaving the house as they go to the grocery store. So it's a narrative all the way through a town. But she walks into this house, and there's like 8 people who live in this crash house, and then they go into this one dude's room, and he moved. And they're like, oh, he moved. So, but he left a series of photographs on the bed to explain why he was leaving. And it's just this weird avant-garde like expression of life and what he's done with his life. And that's what I thought of as she's sending me these photos, just this weird, or like when people they steal something and they take photos with it all over the United States. Like a garden gnome is in Paris and all that bullshit. So that's what it made me think of. Like she's just sending me, I'm like, is this going to be a collage that I have to put together and solve a mystery? Like what the fuck? So she's writing me. Then she sends me another photo of her on a, and all it said, I think this letter, all it said was, "Goddamn Phillies." And then I open it up, and there's a picture. It's her with a baby, like she's in front of a house that's being worked on, and there's a doll of a baby with a cigarette in its mouth, and she's just smiling. And then it makes me wonder, is she taking these expressly for me, or does she take these photos all the time and she's going through and finding the silliest photos that she has to send me? I mean, I don't know. But she's in Philadelphia. She, and wants me to come there, and that's great. And then she sends me a note a few weeks ago, and it just says Phillies. And I open it up, and it says, I'm telling you right now, if the Phillies make the World Series, you're coming to the game with me. I have tickets. She goes, I have tickets for you if they go. And I'm like, and she, then she said, yeah, it's exciting here, and blah, 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 blah. And so I wrote her back. I go, you are really going to regret putting this in writing. Because if the Phillies make the World Series, I am coming to Philadelphia, and I am, I said, you know what? I apologize. I take that back. I said, you're really going to regret putting this in writing because I have been at the airport since I got this note. And I am waiting for the Phillies to clinch, and I will be there. And she wrote me, and she goes, what airport are you at? Which made me laugh. And she goes, nothing to worry about. She goes, I do it all the time. She goes, my boyfriend is rich. So we have season tickets, and he always tells me I have one ticket that I can use for somebody, and I will use it for you.
Wow.
And just so you think that I'm a good girlfriend, here's a picture. And I open it up, and it's, I guess, her boyfriend, and he's with 5 contestants in a beauty pageant. They're wearing those sashes that say like Miss Phoenixville or Miss Bethlehem or whatever. They all have sashes. I don't know if it was a Miss Pennsylvania contest. I have no idea. But it's a guy with like 5 women. So in my head, I'm like, why does that make you a good girlfriend? Just he was judging the contest. Unless you shoved him in the middle of all these hot chicks and took a photo, I have no idea. But you said he's rich, so he probably bought his way into the contest anyway. I have no idea. All I know is she said I should have just stopped paying attention. She had a Philly ticket for me. So, but then I wrote her and I said, and then she wrote me back and she said, yep, it's happening. So if they make the World Series, I have game tickets for you.
Wow.
And I don't know if that means game 1 and game 2, or if just game 1. I have no idea. But I'm telling you this: if the Phillies make the World Series, I'm going. I will be there. And, and I've told her that, and I think she doesn't think I'm serious, but I'm fucking serious. I already checked it out. I've got enough miles to get me to Philadelphia, via American. And also she, by the way, game 1 and game 2, a Wednesday and a Thursday.
Awesome.
We will do the podcast on Tuesday. I will fly out there on Wednesday morning, and I will be there. I will stay, at her house, I think. I hope. I have no idea if that's the case, but she offered it once. I don't give a shit. I'll crash at the airport. I'll literally go to the airport, and she can pick me up. We'll go to the game, then she can bring me back to the fucking airport. That's fine. If it means I got Phillies World Series tickets, I'm in. So there's stakes involved. So I need all of you folks out there to root for the Phillies so I can actually go to a World Series game. How amazing would that be? I don't know why that's funny to you. It would be fantastic. I look forward to the look on the face of the rich boyfriend when I show up. That's going to be fantastic. Like, who the hell is this guy? Oh, that's the hobo I decided to bring to this game this week. Because you give me one ticket I can use on it. That was the thing that made me laugh. My boyfriend, he gives me one ticket that I can use all the time on anyone. And I just picture her just writing indiscriminately celebrities or podcasters or anybody and just taking them to a game. Anybody who takes her up on it. But a World Series game? Are you fucking kidding me? I would walk to Philadelphia to go to a goddamn World Series game. And I'm sure I've jinxed them miserably by doing this on the goddamn show. But literally, it's happening. So let's all root and hope that the Phillies get there, because then I'll be in Philadelphia. And I also know that by saying this out loud, I have disturbed the Kraken. That is the city of Philadelphia, who went out of their way to make me uncomfortable and try to get me out of them as soon as they possibly could. I know that city did not want me there, and yet here I am taunting them again. I've put it out into the ether that I should have just come in and slipped in under the cover of night. I should have never even mentioned it until after the fact. I should have just gone to the game and then come back and said, "You're not going to believe what I did last week, folks. I went to Philadelphia," because then Philadelphia would be like, "Fuck, you were here? We were going to kill you." But now I've given them ample warning. Now they've got at least 2 weeks' notice that I'm going to be coming to town if the Phillies make the World Series. But see, this is smart. Because I have to make the city choose between its love of the Philadelphia Phillies and its fucking hatred of me. The city has to decide whether they want to see their favorite sons, the Phillies, go ahead and win a World Series, or is it more important for them to keep me out of their fucking town and make me have a terrible time? Because I got news for you. If I do come to town, she's picking me up, and that's fine, because I'm not going to wind up in the murder capital of the USA. I'm not going to see the aquarium. I'm not going to see Crown's Chicken. This chick, I imagine, knows where she's going. I imagine she'll pick me up and we'll go right to the tennis club. First of all, of course, that's the first stop. We'll have to go for a round. What if she scheduled me for a doubles game? I may be her doubles partner. I have no idea. I come to town. She and I are in doubles. We take on some local people at the country club, and then I order lunch and I put it on the Underhills bill, and then we go ahead and move on with our life. That's fantastic. All right, I like this plan. It's working out. I hope her thumb is healed, because she's going to have to cover about 3/4 of that tennis court. Although I got the serve. We all know I got the serve. Maybe that's what this whole thing is born out of. Holy shit. Maybe she heard the show where me and Scuderi buried everybody in my goddamn high school gym class, and she's like, you know what? That's a guy I want on my side, goddammit. The doubles tournament is coming up at the club. I got to bring this guy to town. How do I entice him? Phillies ticket. Done. This whole thing's an elaborate ruse to get me in a pair of tennis whites. Motherfucker. You send me photos, you bait the hook, and you try to bring me in here for all that, and I'm gonna show up, and I'm gonna have to play around a town. You don't really have tickets, do you? That's not even your boyfriend. Holy shit! That probably isn't even you in those photographs. I'm gonna just show up, and she's gonna be like you know what? This might actually be a trick. Hold on. Now that I think about it, we're through the looking glass on this, people. This chick might not even exist. This might be the city of Philadelphia manifesting itself into one person and sending me emails to try to trick and entice me to come back so it can finish the fucking job. You're not going to get me that easy, Philadelphia. God damn it. It's going to take a lot more than cute girl with tennis trophy and close-up of mangled thumb to get me on a plane. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. That's all I needed. Honestly, when she was like, I would have picked you up at the airport and you could have stayed with me, in my head, I'm like, I should just go back now. I should really just... That sounds like fun. I am the world's orphan. Anybody who offers me something nice, I jump right on it, because it's like I want attention and I want people to be nice to me so much. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, that sounds good. I could work that out. That'll be fun. I talked on here a couple weeks ago about Honeycrisp apples, right? So, and I said those are second, of course, only to the Millionaire Pussy apples, which I'm really wish I could get my hands on. But then a guy wrote me from Minnesota, and he's like, hey, dude, you mentioned Honeycrisp apples. Well, I don't know if you have them in California, but we have them in Minnesota all the time. Maybe they'll still be here when you come to town at the end of the month. But I'll tell you what, my kid's selling them for banned. If you wanted me to, I could send you, apples, Honeycrisp apples. And I'm like, so I wrote him. I said, look, I have no idea if you're serious about this, but if you are, just in case, here's my address. And I actually gave my real address because I didn't want fruit sent to a P.O. box, because I picture fucking Speedy McZip code munching away on a fucking apple and pissing me off. So he's like, so he wrote me back and he goes, hey, it was Monday morning, and he goes, hey, I sent you a bushel of apples. They're on the way. The post office said they should be there by Friday. Now look, there's a lot of red flags in that sentence. Okay, he obviously sent them Monday morning, I hope, and so that they're going to be in transit for 5 days, 6 days. they're going to be like horribly, it's going to be applesauce by the time it fucking gets here, right? I have no idea. It just seems like they're going to go bad. You can't sell perishables for a week. I mean, apples go bad, don't they? They go bad. I don't know. But also, second of all, the word bushel has me a little frightened. I'm not going to lie to you. Because I like apples, and as I've mentioned, apples taste like apples to me. That's fine. But the very fact that he said the word bushel makes me think that I'm going to get some like 80-pound thing of apples that I would never finish in a million fucking years. And so I'm looking forward to it, I guess. I mean, Jesus, I better fucking love Honeycrisp apples if this guy's sending me a goddamn bushel of them, for God's sake. So and then I will tell you this. I should just go ahead and say this to you right now, Minnesota. Thank you so much for sending them. I went to the grocery store on Tuesday. Hey, Ralph's had Honeycrisp apples for $1.99 a pound. So I picked up 2. Stupid. That's how dumb I am. I was there yesterday, Tuesday. I walk into Ralph's. I went, oh my God, Honeycrisp apples. And I bought 2, not even thinking about the fact that I have a truck full of them on the way from Minnesota. But I fucking bought them. I had them right there. And no, it was actually Monday. It was Monday when I walked in and saw them. It was the same day I got the email. That was maybe. Oh my God, I'm even stupider. I'm even fucking stupider. I bought them that day when I got the goddamn email. I knew I had a bunch of them coming, and yet I still bought them. Well, I guess maybe there's a preliminary tasting. I have no fucking idea, but you know what? I'll tell you this, though. They sit on my countertop right now, still uneaten. I bought the 2 of them. I couldn't wait to get a hold of them. Everybody told me they were fantastic, and I still haven't tried them. There they sit on my countertop mocking me. You know why, though? Because I had to eat like 9 bananas. Jesus Christ. I bought all these bananas, and all right, I got to tell you something, folks. I wish I had taken a photo. We went to Ralph's. I was there Monday, and I bought bananas, and they were like porn star bananas. They were, each of these bananas was like 9 inches long. Like, it was the craziest. I bought them just because, like, I was like, oh, I got to buy the fucking John Holmes bananas, right? I got to buy a TT Boy banana. Well, just because. Seriously, I'll pick up an Evan Stone banana because not only do they function as bananas, but they also show you where you stack up in the world. You need them as a way of figuring out exactly who you are and where you're at, and exactly how disappointing you're going to be to people in the future. Because you measure your cock against the television remote so many times before you get a complex. Banana is at least sort of, shaped like it. You can go, all right, well, the width is kind of normal, and, and then you never, all right, you guys don't need to know all that. I got to shut up. But I bought 2 bunches of them. I bought, and I held them up, and I was like, Jesus. I mean, they were obscene. They completely looked obscene, but I didn't fucking care. But then that is a little creepy when you go, that's all I bought was like two Honeycrisp apples and like 10 Mr. Marcus bananas. You know what I mean? I throw those on the fucking conveyor belt, and it's literally, the woman just gives me a look like, are you here from Vivid Video? What the fuck are you doing here? Honestly, like I'm a PA for fucking Brazzers.com, and I just like, yeah, we need these bananas for a shoot. Because we have some woman who's very down on her luck and is willing to participate in Banana Gangbang 4. Now, and I don't even know why I tell the cashier that. She doesn't need to know that, quite frankly. That's probably information she doesn't need. She's going, look, I'm at work. I don't need to know about Banana Gangbang 4. And by the way, folks, oh my God, if you like Banana Gangbangs 1, 2, and 3, oh, wait till you see 4. Trust me, I've seen the bananas. Fucking something to write home about. If you were to ever write a letter to anybody in your family about Banana Gangbangs, this is the letter you will want to compose, because Banana Gangbang 4, because look, we all liked Banana Gangbang 1, right? It was fresh, it was new, it was on the scene. Banana Gangbang 1, Sex Appeal. Remember that one? That was a great show. Everybody loved it. It was sexy, it was exciting, it was delicious. And you thought you couldn't top it. Everybody's like, there's no way they can top this. But then Banana Gangbang 2, Skin on Skin, that came out, and you guys were like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing another Banana Gangbang. Banana Gangbang 2 is fantastic. It's almost as good as Banana Gangbang 1. Sure, you think we fell off in quality, but then, of course, when Banana Gangbang 3 came out, Banana Gangbang 3, we're not monkeying around. You guys were on board from the jump. And I know you think there's no way we could possibly top Banana Gangbang 3, but again, folks, I have to stress, I have seen the bananas and the down on her luck woman who are going to be in Banana Gangbang 4. Best of the bunch. God damn it, I'm great. I am great. Ladies and gentlemen, with a phrase from the past of the 40-year-old boy, the legendary Johnny Mathis.
Banana underpants, fish bicycle.
You're listening to The 40-Year-Old Boy, and later, The Jerk-Off Journals. Two guys who've got the situation well in hand.
I took a lot of heat for last week's show.
Why? How come?
That's the story I told about, how I jerked off using a soccer bopper.
Oh, you prefaced it. You said you'd probably get some heat over it.
I was right.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Dude, you should try this.
What?
Okay. Get a banana.
Banana?
Yeah. Hold on.
Right.
Follow me. Peel it, put the skin in the microwave, heat it up.
Okay.
Not a lot. And then put it in a baggie and put a little lotion inside it and put it underneath the couch cushion, and then you bang it.
When did you do that?
Yesterday.
Dude, where? What couch?
You're sitting on it.
Oh, no. Dude, I play Xbox in this couch.
Yeah, I know, and I had to wait up all night for you to go to bed so I could try this, for Christ's sake, but it's amazing. Try it, and you won't be pissed.
What do you do with the banana?
You eat it.
Before or after?
During. It's Palm Sunday over and over. The Jerk-Off Journals on the Mike Schmidt Podcasting Network.
Was that the last banana?
I can't concentrate, folks. The Phillies are on, and I got to be there. I wish I was there, and I'm not. I'm not watching it. Who knows? It could be over by now. They could be celebrating. They could be dancing in the infield in Busch Stadium, or they may have lost. Oh my Christ! I can't even think about it. I can't process this. You know what I want? I need candy. I have to have candy. That's what I need to have. You can shake your head all you want. That's what I need. I'm in that weird. I've been losing weight. As you guys know, I changed the way I ate and stuff like that, and I have not weighed in yet for September. But I did good. I mean, I didn't do anything stupid, so I should be okay. Or like I said, we're waiting to see when I just stop losing weight just from eating different, and then I have to incorporate working out, which I have to do anyway. You guys know all this. Everybody knows this. Although there might be new people here because of something that I'll get to in a second. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do, man. You know what I want? I want candy. Like I want to eat supplies. You guys know all about me and supplies, right? All right, there's this candy at Trader Joe's. If you don't know who I am, I got hooked on this weird candy, and I ate it every day for like a year and a half. Like I ate an entire container of it every night. That's like 1,800 calories a night. Wow, God, what a terrible person. But then I shook it. It's gone. It's out of my system. I haven't had it since June. But now I in my head I'm like, I'm doing good. Everything in moderation. So if I just get one container, then I'll be fine. I can go ahead and do that, and I just have a couple. But already I'm being threatened with broken arms and stuff from people who are telling me, like, dude, no, you can't do that. I'm seriously, and I'm so, all right, I understand that I can't do that. But then I read an article today on the Food Network internet website, and it said, here's some underrated foods that you don't know about. And chocolate and dried fruit were on those lists. I said, chocolate and dried fruit, that's supplies. That's all those are. If you combine the two of them, look, that's a superfood now as far as I'm concerned. If you're telling me on this list, because it said like bread and cheese, which fuck cheese, I don't care. I'm not a fan of cheese, as you guys know. I don't like sauces. I don't care for cheese. But then it said chocolate and dried fruit, and of course it said certainly to eat in like, it didn't even say moderation. Like it said have a couple pieces or something like that, which is fine. But the problem is when I buy a container, I eat the whole container. But like Cookie Monster, I don't even fucking swallow it. Literally, I just dump it in my mouth. I'm like, just fucking all over the place, flying. I loved Cookie Monster as a kid. Oh, and I love him now. Who am I kidding? I love Cookie Monster now. And there he is. Sure, he's on the wall. Lily has an actual piece of Sesame Street artwork on her wall. It's Grover. She nailed him to the wall. He's hanging there. It's grim. It's not a pleasant display, but she has it. No, she has the Me Claudius from Cookie Monster. Look it up. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. To me, Sesame Street is shorthand. Like young people have no idea. They all watched other shows growing up. I couldn't even pull those shows because I was an adult. I have no idea what the fuck they were. I'm stupid. But yeah, so now I'm like, I want to have candy today, and I got to shake it because it's it's just a nervous thing. It's like, and also, I did a show a couple weeks ago here in town. My friend Tom has a show called Sweet Sweet Stand Up. He does it at the M Bar, and I was there, I don't know, a few months ago. And then I did it in maybe May or June. And he said to me, he goes, hey man, what about a date in September? I go, well, yeah, let me know. Keep me posted. And then on Facebook, all of a sudden it was released that I was there September 22nd. I was on the page. It said, I'm on the show. Will I attend? And I said, well, I guess I will attend. I didn't know that I was on this show, but that's fine. And, I went to the Sweet Sweet stand-up show because the first one I went to I wasn't on. I hung out with my buddy Paul Goebel who was doing stand-up, and I think I'm doing Paul's podcast this weekend. Although I don't know how that's going to go, folks. My friend Paul Goebel is the King of TV, as you know, and that's his podcast, the King of TV podcast. And he asked me to be on it this weekend, and he's like, "Well, I could have some topics to talk about, but I want to know what Mike enjoys in the new season for television." Nothing at all. I don't watch. I've watched nothing. I'm unfortunately very busy with other things, and I haven't been able to do that. And it's like I'm not even. You know what? I'm not even very busy with other things. I'm at a point where I'm apathetic about anything. Like I don't make time. I used to watch The Daily Show and the Colbert Report every single day, every day for 3 years. I mean, since Colbert started, I've never missed an episode. And then finally I had to give up. Like I fell behind, so far behind that I just erased them all. There was like 40 of them on my DVR. And I just said, you will never watch these. You will never. I tried. I watched 8 a day for like 2 days in a row. And then I went, dude, you've got things to do. You have a life to lead. And so I had to erase them all. Oh my God, that's painful. That's so, you're like, this is brilliance I will never see or know about. And you're just hitting bloop, bloop and fucking erasing all of them. Yeah, TiVo's just, you hear it eating it. It's just the sound of sadness. But I find myself not wanting to do anything television wise. Like I watch sports, like I'm watching the Phillies, or if the Bears are on, I'll watch them. But even that seems like a chore. Like because in my head, I haven't done anything with my life. I mean, I haven't accomplished anything. And so you get to a point where you start scolding yourself and saying, dude, how can you take an hour and a half to watch this movie when you should be writing, you should be cleaning your desk, you should be staying ahead of it, because I had to get, we're thinking of T-shirts, and I was writing 2 chapters for a book for some friends who have a project, and I would always get on myself. I'm like, man, you gotta. All right, I'll tell you this story. Hold on, microphone troubles. Did I talk about the book on here? I don't know if I did. Some friends of mine are doing a book, and they asked me to write. Are we okay? You keep looking at there. Oh, okay. They asked me to write 2 chapters for the book, which is good. I was excited to do it. And I don't want to plug it because I have no idea if they've plugged it yet. I don't know. But they told me it was due early September, the two chapters. And I've known since July. Yeah, early July. So August 31st, I sat down to write some chapters for a book. And I, look, I'm that guy. All right, I put things off. But then I can bust things out fairly quickly if I really concentrate on it and I get it done. So I had to write 2 separate chapters, and I sat down with one, and it was in the beginning I was like, how's this gonna work? And then it just fucking came out of me. Like I completely vomited words all over the page. I hope it's more well received than that, quite frankly. Oh, this reads like word vomit. Yes, it does. But it's so funny. The chapters that they told us, all right, look, this will not surprise you. They said the chapters are anywhere between 2,500 and 3,000 words. Did I talk about this on here? I swear to God I did. Did I? And then I wrote the first chapter, and it was like 4,400 words, and turned it in. And I said, there you go, fellas. And then they wrote me and they said, fantastic work. So I'm like, I was emboldened. I'm like, oh, that's great. They liked it, and they didn't care that it was long and good. So then I had to write the second chapter, and that turned out to be more of a slog. That one was hard. And it took me a couple of weeks to actually write that one, because the first one I wrote in almost 2 days. But then the next one, it took a while because I had to, this would work a lot more if I could tell you what they were about, because you would understand. But I wasn't as familiar with the subject matter of the second chapter as I was with the first chapter. But I made it work, and I pounded it out. And that one was like 4,700 words, I think. And well, it took weeks. It took weeks because you get into a groove and you start writing about one thing, and then you got to work, and it's all in my voice, which is fine, because that's what they wanted. It's a bunch of different writers doing this book, and they wanted it in their own voice. So I turned that one in, and then they wrote me back and they go, hey, we liked it. It's really great. It made us laugh out loud. Can you do us a favor? It's supposed to be a lot closer to like 3,000 words than where you're at. Can you do a run and take out some stuff? And also they wanted me to personalize it more. Now look, if you want me to take words out and yet personalize it more, those are conflicting situations. You're asking me to contribute more of myself to it, but by taking out 1,800 words? You know me, that's not going to fucking work. But I did it. I sat down and I did a polish on it. I took out a bunch of words, like a bunch of stuff that I went through and I thought might have been, just there for joke's sake. Because, I will do that. As you know, you guys are aware of that, right? I'll just sometimes go off on a tangent just to be funny. It has no rhyme or reason. So I did that in there and I took out whatever I thought was extraneous and then I rewrote some stuff to make it more personal to me. And by the time I got done with it, I was at about 4,400 words. And then I went and trimmed it, and I got it down to 4,200 words. And there was only one other 30-word section that I thought could come out because it was a joke. It was. I read it and I was like, that's funny, but it doesn't need to be in there. But I want it in there, so I'm leaving it in there. And I turned in a chapter with 4,200 words. And they wrote me back. And I wrote them and I go, look, I don't care what you guys do to this, but this is as close as I can get to what you want. I said, I've done what I can. I've rewritten, made it personal. I took out stuff. But I'm not an editor. I'm a writer. And that's a bad thing to say and a bad thing to be. You should be your own editor. You should be someone who goes ahead and hold on, microphone troubles. No, that time it fell. All right, look, I'm sitting in a chair right now and I have the microphone pulled up as close as I can to my mouth. I'm basically swallowing the thing. And I could probably, if I lean, well, no, you can't hear me that way. I don't fucking know. Look, you don't care. Nobody cares. But as I keep shifting my feet around, I have to move the mic stand and then the microphone gets closer to my mouth or it gets pulled farther away. Why the fuck do you care? You don't. You don't care. Right now, you're in your head, you're just going, God, I wish he would get that candy and shove it in his mouth so he'd shut the fuck up. He needs a mouthful of candy. I'd rather hear him chewing a mouthful of candy and ruining his life than boring me with microphone bullshit. Jesus Christ. Nothing more depressing or uninteresting than hearing technical bullshit about the fucking show. Oh, hold on. My cord isn't working. Shut the fuck up. God damn it. I hate this show. All right. Not this show as a whole in toto. I mean, I love doing this show, but this particular episode, come on. Drive me up a fucking cliff. If the best part of your show is Banana Gangbang 4, God damn it. Things have gone south. So I find myself like I can't watch TV. I don't think I should be doing anything frivolous because I've accomplished nothing in my life. I've accomplished literally nothing. I'm 44 and nowhere near where I thought I would be or anywhere close. And all my peers have moved on and they're on television shows and working and I'm sitting here. And look, again, I love doing this, but I need more. So I when it comes to watching TV, Paul is going to be very disappointed this weekend. Hey, what does Mike like about the new season? Well, Mike likes ignoring the new season so he can get on himself about the fact that he's a failure in his goddamn life and there's nothing he can do about it. All right. Well, thanks for coming, Mike. Man, the king of TV, but I hope he's got a lot of TV knowledge to bring to the table, him and his best friend Jim Bruce, because I got nothing. I'll do a lot of nodding. That's always good in a podcast. Folks, let me tell you this. So I'm trying to accomplish things. I'm trying to get things done. Like my Kickstarter page. I've told you for weeks and weeks that I was going to be doing a Kickstarter page because I've been doing live shows, as some of you may or may not know. And in those live shows, I love doing it. And I want to come to the East Coast. There are cities on Facebook that want me to come to town. Now I'm leaning with the mic. Is that what you're making fun of me? Well, I can't because again, nobody cares. We need a boom. You know what we need? We need a boom mic.
Yeah.
Anybody out there want to be an intern for this show and come and hold a boom mic so I can move around and lean around and you can just fucking follow me with a big fuzzy cock? That's fine. I'm in. Hold on. All right. Move that and move that. Oh, Jesus. Turn me off, folks. Honestly, just do yourselves a favor this week and cut me fucking loose. God damn it. So I had to do my Kickstarter page, and I've been telling you about it for weeks because I've done the one-man show, and I've gone on the road and done it in different places and cities, but there are other cities who've started pages on Facebook on the East Coast that want me to come out there, and the East Coast is it's a bite in the ass. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a little prodigious when it comes to expenses. You know, the flying out there is a little more expensive. Hotels are crazy expensive, and then, got to get a car. That's expensive, whatever the fuck. Have I told you about my trip to Philadelphia? I don't know if I mentioned that. And I've got another one coming up in a couple of weeks, provided they win. Everybody root for it. Just root for it just for the show that I bring back. What are you covering up? Is there something wrong?
You don't want to see it.
Oh.
Kickstarter page.
Oh, okay. You're at the Kickstarter page. So I was going to do the Kickstarter page, and I was ready to launch it. And here's the thing: I've been telling you for weeks and weeks. But the thing is, I have to build the page. When I went to Kickstarter, they're like, "All right, you got to do this. You got to do this. You got to, figure out." I have to. All right, I had to figure out rewards for people. All right, there's all sorts of things I have to. And then I thought I could just build a Kickstarter page. Like, you need a video. I'm like, God damn, a video? I can't. A Kickstarter, because look, I've done video for this show before, and you folks have unanimously voted that you hate it. All right. Because it was me sitting in a chair talking, which is exactly what I'm doing now, and you seem to enjoy that. But for some reason, when there's a picture element in it, you're like, nope, we're out. Can't do it. Because I put them on YouTube, and like the first one got a lot of views, and then after it was just all fucking downhill from there because you went, oh, he's just going to do the same thing. He's going to talk in goddamn circles. We can just hear that on the podcast, which I don't blame you for. Again, I'm no fucking great shakes looks-wise, so why the fuck would you want to watch me talking? That makes no sense. But then we tried to liven it up. We went on a roof, and we went all over the place and did a bunch of different stuff, and even that did not attract viewers. So we're like, oh, well, the YouTube experiment has failed, which is fine. We tabled that. But it said to make a video for Kickstarter, and in my head, I did not want to do what we had done on YouTube, which is literally just me sitting there and talking. But I'm like, well, it's kind of a fucking fugazi way to do stuff anyway. You're trying to get people to give you money, and you're just basically throwing it out there. Let me explain this. If you don't know what Kickstarter is a website where you put up your project, and people can help you fund that project. People can invest in it. It's not investing. You're not getting any return except for the fact that I come to your town. You're in the glory of a job well done. That's not the case. There's no job well done. Giving me $1 just makes you feel good inside. I think. I don't know if it does. I've never given me $1. So it's the Kickstarter page. I wanted to come to the East Coast, so I was going to do just a page for each city. I was going to do Boston, Cleveland, Atlanta, and Washington, D.C., because these are the East Coast cities that have shown interest. And recently now Detroit has come on board and other cities. But I tried to do an individual page for everything, and Kickstarter was like, yeah, that's probably not good. Why don't you just do one page? And you have to do what Kickstarter says, because Kickstarter is all-knowing, and they're the monolith, and you have to just fucking fall in line. So I went ahead and made an East Coast tour page. And I told Lily, I go, look, this is going to be terrible, because we're never going to make the money that I wanted. Because if I could have funded Boston and Cleveland, and unfortunately, if Washington, D.C. and Atlanta fell by the wayside, then because here's also the way Kickstarter works, all right? I'll just tell you this. You ask for a certain amount of money, and you have a certain amount of time in which to you set the time frame of when you want to get that by. And if you raise the money by then, it's fantastic. You can actually continue to raise money up until the time your deadline ends. And if you pass your goal, that's great. You can, and if anything over and above can be used for you, that's fine. But if you don't pass your goal, guess what happens? You get nothing. It is truly the Price is Right of internet websites. Because it is you can either win at Plinko, or you can just fucking go home with nothing. You get a car, or you get a handshake from Drew Carey. And I don't even think fucking they're giving me that at Kickstarter, quite frankly. So that's why I was like, I want to do 4 individual pages, because then those numbers didn't look so daunting. Because if one city really cared, they could fund it, and then the other cities, well, if they didn't work out, they didn't work out. But unfortunately, I had to make everything into one page, which, fucking fortunately, I'm happy to do it. That's fine. So I kept saying I had to do the page, but then when I had to do the video, I go, oh, well, I got to make it a real video. So I went to Kickstarter and I looked at videos, and holy shit, folks, these people take this seriously. My God. I mean, look, I know we're trying to get money, and we're trying to raise money from people and fans and things like that. And it said right on Kickstarter, the video is the most important part of your presentation. And then I looked at everybody's videos, and I'm like, yeah, no fucking kidding, it's the most important part. There's people with green screens and bullshit, and I mean, I was like, I can't hang with that again. I'm fucking Fugazi. I'm sleeping on your couch. That's who I am. So unbelievably, I'm like, all right, well, I can't do. What am I going to do for the video? I don't know, because I talk. That's all I fucking do is talk. So then we had to find a guy to help film the video, and thank God Lily had a friend named Brian Janes, and she referred me to him, and I talked to him, and he's like, well, I don't know if I have time and how much, and so I offered him a certain amount, and he was very nice and said yes. He was gracious. And so then Lily said, hey, you know what? I can probably get you the 3 clubs to film there, because then you don't have to film in my house. Because again, the whole thing is I just didn't want to, as DIY and as Fugazi as I am, I didn't want it to look like shit. All right? Because you guys are cool, and you're my fans, and you know who I am. You're my fans. That sounds horrible to say. You're people who like what I do. So, and so you guys are into it, and you understand who I am and what I'm trying to do. But they're on Kickstarter. There's a bunch of strangers who don't know who the fuck I am. So if they were to stumble onto a page and see me talking in a stripper's kitchen and just talk and saying give me money, they'd laugh in my electronic face. I mean, and I can't have that, folks. I can't be held up for public ridicule. Unless I'm the one doing the upbraiding. I don't need other people to upbraid me, God damn it. I can ridicule myself all I want. But these people, I'm like, all right, well, I got to do something that's kind of sort of, I guess, at least looks professional. So Brian Janes agreed to do it, and we got the 3 clubs, and we went and did it there. And here was the idea. All right, I will fill you in on the idea I had for the video. 4 cities: Boston, Atlanta, Cleveland, Washington, D.C. I talked to Lily, and she said, well, we can film it on a Monday night when I have the Monday night teas. We can do it beforehand. I said, let me ask you something. Will any of the girls be interested in being in the video? She's like, what do you mean? I said, well, burlesque dancers. Like, could I get them to be in? Because I have a great idea. Because the idea I had, folks, was, remember I talked about beauty sashes and all that kind of stuff? Well, what I would have had was 4 different women, one for Boston, one for Cleveland, one for Atlanta, one for Washington, D.C. And whenever I talked about that city, I would have that woman walk around with basically like a globe and walk around me like she was a ring girl at a fucking fight. And just hold up the globe, and I would talk, and I would talk in circles, and they would walk around. And every time I mentioned a city, that other woman would come out. And then at the end, of course, it would be 4 women, and everything would be fine. But then I started to panic as I got closer to the shoot. And in my head, I'm like, I can't have 4 chicks. That's just like weird, because it gets away from what I'm doing. It's going to really confuse the people who are going to try to contribute money, because all of them are going to think, oh, great, 4 hot girls are going on tour? Fantastic. And cough up the dough. And then I show up in their town like, who the fuck is this idiot? Oh my God, this was the guy who hung out with it. I almost said pimp. This is the pimp of the 4 girls we thought were showing up. No. Not pimp. That's mean. So I panicked at the last minute, and I said to Lily, and I will tell you this. I told Lily, all right, burlesque is an interesting art, all right, because I know a lot of the girls. And I had to tell Lily, I go, look, they have to be comfortable with just kind of coming on and not... this is so stupid to say, stealing focus. Because I didn't give a fuck if they stole focus, but I had to make sure that people knew what they were contributing to. I didn't want them thinking, again, that I was bringing a burlesque show on the road. So, and Lily's like, look, I got it. I'll take care of it. I know what you're looking for. It's fine. But then Lily doesn't send me an email telling me who the girls are or what time they'll be there. I mean, I don't know anything about it. So I panicked, and I actually told Lily, I go, look, you don't, because I thought better of it in my head. And I go, you know what? I can make it work much better if there's 1 girl. And so I told Lily, I go, look, I'm okay with 1 girl. She goes, don't worry about it. You're going to have multiple girls. That's fine. We'll take care of it. I go, okay, but I'm telling you, if it comes to it, I have a better idea, I think, for 1 girl. I can work with multiple, but I think 1 girl will work better. And Lily's like, it's fine. I'll take care of it. So that was Sunday. So the show, we shot this on a Monday. This is 3 weeks ago. So I show up at the 3 clubs on Monday night, and I walk in the door, and there's Brian. He's setting up his lamps. And the woman who was going to do it is a woman named Scarlett. Is that who it was? Yeah. Scarlett's going to do it. So I'm excited because Lily's like, look, I got Scarlett definitely to do it, and there might be other girls, but Scarlett's for sure going to do it. And I've never met this person, Scarlett, so that's fine. As long as she's cool with me, I'll talk to her. Everything will be fine. So Brian is there, and he has a girl there helping him out. And she's walking around and setting stuff up. I'm not there 15 minutes. And Lily walks out and goes, hey, I just got a text from Scarlett. She's not going to be here. I said, what? She said, yeah, she's in traffic. She was in traffic coming home, and then she's got to get her costume and all this different stuff. She's probably not going to be here until like 7:30 or 8 o'clock, and that's when we need to be done. So if you want to have 1 girl in it, it's going to be me. And I said to Lily, I go, no, that's not going to work. And here's why that's not going to work, folks. And I told Lily the same thing. Because that blows the joke. Because you guys all know who Lily is. So I can't treat Lily like she's a girl or a burlesque chick. Because like a nondescript or unidentified girl, you know, I couldn't just say, oh, wait, and say a city, and then you burst in, because then I'd have to address you as Lily. I'd have to be, no, Lily, we can't, Lily, that, you know, because you guys know who she is, and I'm not, you know, and because people who don't know me or Lily, they wouldn't know who she was, but you guys would, and you'd go, oh, that's Lily, and I get the joke, and, you know, why didn't he say she was Lily? It just wouldn't have worked. So in my head, I'm like, well, fuck, no chick, that's fine. I'll make it work. I'll just talk, and we'll figure it out. So Brian is setting up his lamps. And I said to Brian, like, all right, there's change in plans. It doesn't look like there's going to be any girls. so I will figure something out. I'll do it on the fly. He goes, okay. Unless Panama wants to do it. And I said, what? And he goes, unless Panama wants to do it. And that was the girl who was helping him out. And she walks in and I look at her and I go, you're a burlesque dancer, right? She said, yeah. And I go, would you want to be in this clip? And she goes, well, yeah, I think so, but I don't know if I have a costume to wear. And I said, okay. She goes, well, why don't I run out to my car and I'll see what I have out there? And I said, okay, that's great. So, and I hadn't really paid attention to her because I thought she was just helping him out. But then when she goes to walk out, I watch her walk out. And she's wearing just like a sweater type shirt and black leggings. And it's dark in the club, so I didn't even really see her. It turns out I know her. Her name is Panama Red, and I emceed her debut burlesque show at the Monday Night Teas like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I don't know. So I didn't even know it was her because I will tell you this: when she was walking around, she was using her real name, and she's helping Brian. So I didn't really think twice about it. But then again, it's dark. I didn't really get a good look at her. When I got her in the light, folks. My throat caught because I saw her walk out in her leggings and I went, oh, I think I may have actually made that noise out loud. And then I'm sitting there and in my head I'm going, oh my God, all right, please have, look, because like Scarlett was nice. All right. I liked Scarlett. It would have been nice to meet her and have her there. But, oh my God, Panama. All right. So she goes outside, and then I'm sitting there in my head. I'm going, oh, please have a costume. Please. That would be, oh, my God, that would be fantastic if she had a costume. And then part of me is like, well, she looks hot enough in these leggings to where she didn't even need a fucking costume. I can just have her burst in that. I'm trying to think of a way to make it work where she's in. Now I'm thinking about I should just get out of this video and have her in there. So she goes outside, and she's outside for a few minutes. I told Brian, and he goes, okay, well, we'll see. And 5 minutes passes. She walks in from outside. And she's carrying, oh, dude. She literally has a yellow chiffon scarf, a thong, a rhinestone thong, and a pair of, like, fuck me shoes. And she walks in with, like, a little pouty face, and she goes, oh, this is all that I have in the car. And I went, oh, that won't work? And her face, she was like sad, like a little kid, like almost like little kid sad when she walked in with just like, she was kind of pouty, like, yeah, this is all I have in the car. And I was like, that won't work. And she went, it was like a little kid was sad and you gave him ice cream. Like her face like brightened up and she goes, well, is it okay if I wear just this? Oh, folks. I don't know if I've ever yelled yes louder in my life. Is it okay if I wear it? Yes! Yes! And then I think that will work okay. And she goes, okay. She goes, well, let me see if Lily has pasties. Because, folks, I wasn't even thinking the shirt. To me, all right, again, I'm used to having to talk to girls to get them to take their clothes off, all right? There needs to be some legwork done. It doesn't need to be, well, could you wear that? And they make a smiley face and they go, yeah, all right, yeah, I'm happy to do that. And she walks away in her leggings to go talk to Lily. And I'm even more excited now. I'm just, oh, no, this is, I can't even, look, all right, old men like me, I'm 44. You guys know what I'm talking about. Anybody who's my age. Young guys, because young guys think they're still in the game. All right, young guys think that they have a shot at everybody. And look, all right, truth be told, I still think I have a fucking shot at everybody. All right? If you got a cock, you think you have a shot at everybody. I'm going to walk into the bank and girls are going to fall down on their backs and kick their fucking ankles over their head. And I'm going to make 2 deposits that fucking day. Seriously. That's who I am as a guy. Because I still think, I'm fucking Ralph Malph. I still got it. I think I am ready to fucking lay pipe from fucking Philadelphia back to Los Angeles and then back to Philly and then laugh in their fucking faces as they try to carjack me. I don't care. But there's still that fucking queer feeling in your stomach when, you see a hot girl that you'll never have. Never. It hurts. I'm not even lying. I've said this before on this show. It's like a pain, like like a longing or an ache because it makes you think of being young and it makes you think of what's past and what's to come and how you're almost dead. It's just this this weird catatonic state and your stomach just flips and oh, Jesus Christ. So she goes in the back and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, well, this could work. It might not work. I don't. And she walks out and she goes, Lily doesn't have any pasties, but she has a feather boa. So like, I don't mind being topless and I'll just keep the boa in front. Is that going to be okay? Now, remember I told you I had never said yes louder in my life? That was true to that point. Because then when she goes, oh, do you mind if I'm just topless and I use the boa? Yes! Holy God, yes. Are you kidding me? Yes! And I was, because again, I'm thinking about how amazing the project's going to be. At the end, also that I'm going to be in the same room as this fucking naked goddess. I mean, that's fine with me. But again, and there's pain, and it's like, oh my God, I can't. And she's, oh my God, she's small, she's tiny. And then in my head, I'm like, because again, a lot of burlesque dancers, they're kind of statuesque. They're like 5'10" because they're dancers and they have legs and all that kind of. And look, I like legs and I like tall girls. I like all kinds of girls. All right, that's fine. But in my head, I went, oh my God, if she's small, she's a little spinner girl, that's going to work even better for the video. Because then I'm like, you know, a fucking giant and she's tiny. It's gonna work great. I'm so excited. Not to mention the fact that she's fucking beautiful and she's going to take everybody's eyes off me and my nonsense. So then I'm trying to think of ways to get her in the video and keep her in the video. Like this was an actual working idea that I had for the Kickstarter video. I was just going to have her on stage dancing and I was just going to do a voiceover. And I was going to go, look, hey, what's happening, Mike Schmidt, 40 Year Old Boy Podcast? You guys only know me from my voice, and that's fine. You don't want to see me because look what I have for you now. Feast your eyes on that as I tell you about my Kickstarter page. And I was just going to do a voiceover while I had this girl dance. I mean, it was like, I literally in my head, I'm trying to channel all these different ideas. So I tell her, I go, you know, I say yes with the boa. She goes, great. Oh my God, that's so great. She was so excited to be a part of it. And then here's what she did, folks. As I sat in the bar and Brian set up his lamps and Lily walked around being business Lily, trying to get stuff done. And Lily's boyfriend, Eddie, folded napkins or whatever the fuck he did to prepare for the show. I was sitting there and Panama Red is right in front of me and she goes, great, that's fantastic. And she decides to take off her clothes. Right in front of me. Right in front of me. She doesn't excuse herself. She doesn't tell me to turn my head or close my eyes. She's just used to being naked, folks, and does not care about just going, all right, good, that's great. And she just, look, as much, I got to tell you something, folks. All right, I looked. I had to look. I tried to be stoic about it, and I tried to go ahead and, you know, all right, well, this is happening, and that's fine. But I practically, I popped popcorn and sat there as fucking Moving in Stereo played in my head. I just sat on the bed, and she's like, okay, great, well, that's good. I'll just wear this then. Bong, pff, bong, pff. And she just starts stripping Phoebe Cates style, and I'm sitting there. And let me tell you something, folks. All right, I told you I'm a fan of the leggings coming back. I have discovered this. As much as I enjoy leggings on a woman, oh my God, do I like seeing leggings come off a woman. Oh, Christ. She literally pulled her shirt off, and I should tell you this. She's like, great, and she takes her shirt off in front of me, and so she's there in a bra and those leggings. And when she took her shirt off, she had, and again, this sounds like hyperbole, and you think I'm making it up for you, and I'm not, because the pain in my stomach tells you that I'm not. This is true. This is so true. She had on the sexiest bra I've ever seen. And look, it probably became the sexiest bra I'd ever seen because she was 6 inches from me taking off her shirt. And believe me, folks, that's an accurate measurement. She was roughly 6.5, 7 inches away from me. And again, very, very accurate measurement. And she takes off her shirt just in front of me and this bra. It was like a leopard spotted, like it was like an animal print bra. I don't know. I you know what? Because part of me thinks I'm making that up in my own head. Like, because it became just a complete Cinemax late night fucking situation right from the jump. She's like, great, and peels her shirt off, and the bra was so amazingly hot, and it was kind of like flesh tone, so it looked like she was sort of naked anyway, and in my head I went, she should just leave the bra on. Like, almost, that's how sexy she was in the bra. I almost didn't want her to take it off. Like, I actually almost opted for that instead of nude breasts, because she looked so crazy sexy in this bra. To see her standing there, and look, I got to tell you something about her. She's so beautiful. I mean, again, this sounds so terrible, like I'm pining for her and all that stuff, but it's true. When you get older and you see hot girls, you just get that weird feeling where you're just like, that's never going to happen for me, ever. Unless I became like a super millionaire. Then if you're a super millionaire, fuck that. Then you're just you're punching pussy all over this fucking great land of ours. That's fine. Your Pussy Express ticket is punched at that point if you got millions and millions of fucking dollars. But when you're just me, fucking, I'm not even 1,000-aire. I mean, I'm not even. I'm 100-aire. That's why I'm 100-aire. But she took that shirt off and she's in the bra, and I'm just hearing the cars moving in stereo, thumping through my fucking head, and I just want to get a pirate costume and jerk off. I mean, honestly, that's all I want to fucking do. And I thought that was fine until she then bent over and took the leggings off. In front of me, folks, in front of me. Just like, and look, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of seeing girls put stockings on, but I'm now more of a fan of seeing them take stockings off. And it's somewhere, I think when she went in the back to look for the pasties, she had put the rhinestone thong on underneath the leggings because it was on. She put her leg up on a chair and she slid the leggings down, and I mean, it just looked so. I wanted her to take them off and then just spin them around and throw them where they'd land on my head, like that kind of thing. And then I would just hand her my ATM card and say, here you go. Here's the code, and go get what you'd like, take whatever you want, and then just come back. I'll be here. Because I am frozen in this position. I never want to leave it ever again. This is where I want to be the rest of my life. Well, actually, I'd like to be 6.5 or 7 inches closer, but right now I think I'm fine. Dude. And by the way, that number's fluctuating because I'm losing weight. All right, so. Oh, but holy God. I mean, I'm sitting there and it's, oh. So she's got the thong on, and then she's got the bra, and she just looked, dude. It was like sex in a 5'2" package. Like I don't even, just because the attitude of it, to where she was just willing to get naked right away and was so happy to do it, and then just she wasn't done up. That was the thing that drove me crazy too. Is a lot of burlesque dancers, they put on a ton of makeup and then they tease their hair up and they do all this stuff. She was there helping out with the video production to learn about that kind of thing, and then just got thrown in and was willing to go put a yellow chiffon scarf and fuck me heels on. With her hair the way it was and just a little bit of makeup on. I mean, like, and I just, oh my God. And look, I know look, no bullshit. I'm not making too much out of this. God damn it. You weren't there. Stand down with your mic. We don't want to hear your descriptions of this bullshit. You weren't there. So she starts, getting undressed, and she's standing there in the thong and the bra. And then she doesn't even have the shoes on. She's just barefoot walking around in the bar, walking around barefoot. Oh my God. It's just, dudes. So then she goes in the back and comes out with the boa. And I'm sitting there, and she just unhooks her bra and takes her bra off right in front of me. Demurely did turn her back. I will say that. Turned her back. And then I'd been gaping at this point, staring like at a car accident the entire time. But then when she took her bra off and she did that thing, again, look, I love women. All right? I just do. And seeing them get dressed is almost as sexy as seeing them get undressed. But when a woman does that thing, look, all right, dudes, God damn it. As I've told you, there's nothing sexier. Because she turned her back to me, and then she had her legs together, and there's that space at the top of the thighs, that little keyhole that is literally the door to all that is good and holy in the world. Oh my God. And because I can actually see the stage lights through it. And it's you know what? Fuck. I don't know who coined the term glory hole for a hole in a wall. Fuck that. That is a glory hole. And she turns around, and then she does that thing where she unhooks her bra and turns around and takes her bra off one shoulder, and then when she slides around with it and has her arm over her naked breasts. Is there anything better than that? Honestly, is there anything better than a woman taking her bra off and then turning around and like shyly covering her breasts? Oh, I got to take a break, folks. I have to take a break. Fan me. Jesus Christ. I can't express to you enough how, and again, I'm sure you're bored of it and you're tired of me describing it, but how hot are women? How beautiful are women? And even hotter when they're not trying to be hot at all or sexy. And because she was getting into costume, man. She was just getting into character. She was becoming Panama Red before my very eyes. And I was thrilled to see the transformation, believe me. Leggings off, bra off, the rhinestone thong on, boa over her shoulders. Then she's just there smiling, just the little teeth. Oh, her smile is so beautiful. She's so beautiful. God damn. And it's just, this is so creepy. And I'm going to go to jail for this long description, I'm sure. No. I'm sure you guys snapped off your fucking, I can't even express to you the look, the just being there, being that close to it. And also knowing it's never, ever going to happen. So I waited, and then I went up on stage, and we're doing the lights, and then she's just standing next to me the whole time, waiting to come on, and I'm looking at her, and she's in, and it's funny, in the video, if you go to Kickstarter.com and search Mike Schmidt or the 40-year-old boy, the page is up now, and it's ready for you guys to try to fund me to bring me to the East Coast. I want to come to these cities, but as I sat there, it's funny, you can see, because of the video, you'll see what I came up with, you'll see the bit on the video, and I told you last week I was really worried about how the video came out, and I actually told Brian when he was editing it, I go, do me a favor, get as much Panama as you possibly can in this video to save it. Honestly, just do whatever because I hated what I did until I saw it, and then I was like, oh my God, it was great, because Brian made it look great. He did a bunch of stuff that I didn't even tell him to do, and he made it look fantastic. It was so perfect, but it doesn't matter, because you're never going to notice it, because Panama's in the video, and it just changes everything. When she walks in and you can see her, there's a part where she smacks her own thigh and it makes a noise, and I'm like, oh, I'm so glad to hear her thigh smack noise. I'm like, but it's so funny, if you look, there's one part where she comes in and I'm talking to her, and I get caught completely staring at her ass. Like I'm so busted because she's in a G-string and she gets in front of me and I'm talking to her, but you see me, I completely look down, and but I mean, you know what though? Part of me thinks I had to look. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I can't. I've tried to express it. I'm sure words can't express it at this point. Literally, all I should do is just bang my heart on the microphone. Honestly, that might get the message across to you guys to know exactly what I'm talking about, because I was mesmerized. I mean, I as we all are. And it's not, look, I know a lot of you are like, oh my God, enough, Mike. It's just a girl. No, women are art. I've said this many times, works of art. And you see them and you're just like, oh, that's a statue I'm never going to own. Jesus Christ. But I was so happy that you wanted to participate. So then afterwards we finished, and, I walk over and I told Brian, I'm like, look, again, just whatever you got to do with me is fine, but make sure she's in it as much as possible. And, she's off there, and she's just, I see her getting dressed, and she put her leggings on. And again, like I said, taking them off, I'm a fan. All right. I'm just a fan. And, but she's still got the boa over her, with no top on. And then she turns around and I see her slide that bra on. It was almost like watching it in reverse. And again, it's in my head. I've seen it backwards and forwards over and fucking over again. But to be able to see it in person, to see her actually take everything off and then to put it all back on again, like reverse striptease. Oh my God, dudes. So, I mean, my head did all the work. All right. I had already, at that point, she and I already had 3 kids and we were married somewhere. That's fine. Well, that's a lie. We were working on the 3 kids, working very, very hard on the 3 kids. I got to be honest. I mean, look, she's fantastic, but marriage is not exactly. I wasn't thinking, God, I'd love to marry this girl. Wow. That is not what I was thinking. There were 5 letters, but it wasn't Mary. But yeah, so then she's very nice. She thanked me for letting her be in the video, and I'm like, no, you are you kidding me? You saved this entire fucking enterprise. I mean, that was fucking amazing. And she got dressed very nice, and then she's helping. She was Panama Red, and then all of a sudden she's back being the person who's helping him put the video stuff away. And you're looking at her, and I mean, she's still just that weird. Sexy but not trying. Oh my God, folks, I'm not familiar with that because I got to try hard in everything. I need to try hard at everything I fucking do. Nothing I do is effortless. I mean, yeah, I can talk off the top of my fucking head, but it doesn't mean that it's working. Not like she's working, Jesus. But eventually, I was worried about the video. I didn't know what it was going to be. And then he sent me the final cut of it. And I was like, God damn it, dude, that's fantastic. And I wrote him, I go, it's great. And I gave him a couple of things that I really wanted. I will tell you, watch till the end of the video. That's all I'll tell you. And it's available at Kickstarter.com right now if you search. There's links right now on my Facebook page. There's links on all the Facebook pages for the cities that I want to go to because I want to come to the East Coast, folks. I want to come out there. I want to play these shows. And that's what the Kickstarter page is for. It's the East Coast tour, we're calling it, but it's really to bring Mike Schmidt to Boston, bring Mike Schmidt to Atlanta, bring Mike Schmidt to Cleveland, and bring Mike Schmidt to Washington, D.C. So you can actually go to the Kickstarter page and fund it there. And when you're there and you're going to watch the video, and I know you're going to watch it more than a few times because, again, who cares what I'm doing or that I'm talking? You just want to watch it to see Panama over and over, and I don't blame you. But when you fund it, it's the East Coast tour, okay? And remember, you're paying because you want to bring Mike Schmidt to Boston, you want to bring Mike Schmidt to Cleveland, you want to bring Mike Schmidt to Atlanta, you want to bring Mike Schmidt to Washington D.C. But as you watch that video, as you hear me talk, and I tell you about Kickstarter and about all of the cities that I want to visit, there's one thing that you should know: the entire time I'm talking about you guys funding me in Kickstarter and bringing me to the East Coast, in my head, there's really only one page that I'm thinking about, and that is bring Mike Schmidt to Panama. I don't know how much it's going to take to get me there, but God knows I am going to fund that page and get it started as soon as I fucking possibly can. You guys can get me at MikeandMikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. You can follow me at Twitter.com at Twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. You can follow our friend Lily Von Stupp, who, again, I want to know, do you want to see her naked? You can follow her at Twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp or Twitter.com/MNTs. And if you want to write her a personal note and find out just how many Vicodin she took before I got here for the show today and whether that's going to affect the editing of said show, you can go ahead and write her at Lily@burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
Bow before me, ignorant asshat! I am Yeep, hail to Thorgar, Lord of the Seventh Circle of Hell, instructing you to go to Zazzle.com/40year-old-boy immediately! That's Zazzle.com, 40-year-old-boy!
I want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at 10 o'clock p.m. on Santa Monica and Vine. That's the 3 clubs. That's where you want to go, Santa Monica and Vine. I understand this week's show is pretty amazing, correct? Lily Von Stupp, the producer of that show?
That is correct, sir.
It was a murder mystery show, is that correct?
It was. It was amazing.
I heard your brother Louis Von Stupp was there.
He did.
He showed up.
He showed up.
With
Big
his-
mustache and large dick.
Well, really?
Yes, I don't know why, but he walked around all night going, "Do you like my mustache? I got a big dick." It's very odd.
So he fit right in, basically, at your show. That sounds like a lot of people I've met at your show. Well, good for them. Well, that's good. I'm glad last week was good. This week's show, and it's Theme-tober. It's Octo Theme, or whatever the fuck we're calling it. You said there's a theme every single Monday. So what's the theme this week?
This is Doc and Stumpy's Instant Burlesque.
Doc and Stumpy's?
Baggy Pants Comedy.
Oh, no.
Yes.
No, I'm just joking. I just think it's funny to say, oh, no, as if there was some sort of tragedy
We've got
afoot.
a chorus line of women in big, giant feather headdresses and baggy pants comedy and hot girls taking their clothes off. And it's,
I'm so excited about one of those. Hot girls taking their clothes off at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. And let me ask you this. I'll just ask this now. Is Panama Red there?
Not this Monday.
Okay. I'll have to keep an eye out to see when she shows up, because that's a question I'm going to be asking you quite a bit, probably, because I cannot stress enough the astonishment, the wonderment. I literally, yeah, that's what it was like. I felt that Daniel Stern should be narrating the scene as I sat there and I stared at her. I see her. She turned around, and there's that space at the top of the thighs and the G-string, and I just, you just want to live in there. You know what I mean? You just want to set up a sleeping bag and crawl in and go and just lay there forever and ever. It's almost not even sexual. It's almost just like, it would just make me feel so good. Oh, just to be there. No, it's not at all. It is fantastic. Oh, so what do you mean gross? What are you talking about? It's your friend, so what? She's my friend too. She was nice to me. Look, I don't think I'm being disrespectful in the least here. I'm saying that it was just unbelievable. It was like,
I can't wait for her to hear this.
She's never going to hear this. Doesn't matter.
Send it to her right after.
And she'll mock me. Oh, dude, all right. Well, I will tell you this. This is the truth. We finished the shoot, and she was so nice, and I paid her, and she was really cool. And that night I went home, and I got home the next morning, and she had friended me on Facebook, and my heart sang. I know that sounds so stupid, but I went to Facebook, and literally it said, Panama Red wants to be your friend. And I as excited as all right, let's put it this way. Remember the previous 2 yeses I told you that were louder than any times I've ever said yes in my life? Trumped completely by being in my house at 6:30 a.m. and seeing Panama Red wants to be your friend. Yes! I was alone then and screamed it. Yes! That was truly the loudest yes I've ever uttered in my entire life. Uttered is not a good line. Uttered is not a good way to say it. I pushed it out as if I were screaming for help. because if they're your friends, it opens the treasure trove to all the photos that they possibly have on Facebook, and then you can go through and see if there's any photos that you would want to see or look at for hours. So, well, I don't know. I didn't get a chance. I just said yes, I'll be your friend, and I played it coy. I slid away.
Right.
Yeah, we're friends. Whatever. So I'm going to ask you every week about the Monday Night Teas until if our friend is there, and I will be excited to see her. So by the way, speaking of friending me on Facebook, folks, you can go to facebook.com/the40year-old-boy and friend me there. And like I said, there's plenty of pages where I'm going to be coming to town. You can bring Mike Schmidt to Kansas City, still exists. Bring Mike Schmidt to Tahoe, to Detroit, as I've mentioned. That is new, as well as the Tahoe one. And then there are all sorts of cities. What are you saying?
Panama page.
Yeah, there should be. I'll bring Mike to Panama page. Let's go. Let's start it up. It's active in my head, and right now there is certainly one person on that list. So those pages exist, and remember that I'm coming to town. I have shows scheduled to come to town. Folks, remember that I will be in Minneapolis, Minnesota on October 28th, Friday, October 28th at the In the Heart of the Beast Theater. That's in Minneapolis. The show is, I believe, at 8 o'clock. That one might be at 8 or 7. No, maybe 8. So I'm in Minneapolis on October 28th. A week after that, folks, the Success Is Not an Option tour storms its way into Chicago, Illinois at Stage 773 on Belmont. So come on out to that show. That would be great. And T-shirts. The pre-orders are finished, folks. Thank you so much to everybody who did pre-order shirts. I can't tell you how thankful I am for that. But the Minneapolis shirts, you can see them, and also the Chicago shirts are also up on my Facebook page. You can check those out. Still deciding on the Milwaukee shirt. That's right, a Milwaukee shirt. Why, you ask? Because I'm going to be in Milwaukee November 25th at the end of November. It's the day after Thanksgiving. That should be fun. I think I'm flying into Chicago and then seeing family and then driving up to Milwaukee. And then driving back. I don't know. What do you care about my plans? Hey, it's none of your business, folks. So those pages exist. Remember the Bring Mike to Boston, Atlanta, Cleveland. All of those pages exist. Washington, D.C. So you can sign up on those pages at Facebook. And also, remember to go to Kickstarter.com and try to fund my East Coast tour. Donate to bring me out there. I usually tell you guys to go to the website, MikeSchmidtComedy.com, and donate there in the upper left-hand corner. You can if you just want to send me something. But you know what? Why don't we just direct our efforts toward Kickstarter now so I can get to these 4 cities and go ahead and bring the show out there, and then you guys can get cool rewards. You know, donating to me is great. And I mention you on the show, if you donate to the show, people like Larry L. This is a guy I went to high school with, Larry L. This is his second donation to the show, Larry L. And also Justin M. Hey, Justin M., thank you so much. This was your 3rd donation to the show. We appreciate it very much. By the way, Michael W. You know what? I apologize. Let me take that back. It might be Michelle W. because it's Michel. So it might be Michael or it might be Michelle W. But that person donated to the show. Thank you, Michael/Michelle. I appreciate it. So that's Larry L., Justin M., Michelle W. And you know what? If you want me to say your full name on the show, you can send me an email telling me to do that. Like this person named Thomas Tate, who said, hey, go ahead and use my full name. I think Thomas Tate is in Atlanta. He's excited about me coming to Atlanta. Have I mentioned the Kickstarter page, folks? So that's Thomas Tate. And also Steve from Manhattan donated to the show. He didn't want his full name, and he also said, I don't want an initial. He said, call me Steve from Manhattan, which is going to narrow it down, folks. Let me be honest with you. I have been to Manhattan. One Steve. And it's this Steve who gave to the show. So that's Larry L., Justin M., Michelle W., Michael W., Thomas Tate, and Steve from Manhattan. Thank you guys so much for donating to the show. We appreciate it. And like I said, if you donate to the show, I'll mention you on here. And if you donate to the Kickstarter page, eventually you'll get mentioned. And if you go to the Kickstarter page, you'll see why. There's all sorts of amazing rewards there that you guys can get. Anything ranging from a screensaver, like a 40-year-old boy screensaver that David has created, to dinner with me somewhere or a phone call from me. It's all over the place. There's a bunch of different rewards. And if you sponsor us to bring me to the East Coast, that would be fantastic. I'd appreciate it. We're making the t-shirts. All of it is being funded through Kickstarter. So go to Kickstarter.com and fund my project to bring me to the East Coast on the East Coast tour. That would be fantastic. I'd appreciate it. And what? Hold on, Lily's holding up a note because, she doesn't want to talk. I don't know why she wouldn't want to. That seems to make no sense. But she's holding up a note as the show's ending that says tiny is that an L? Oh, URL. Tiny. You made a thing for the Kickstarter page. All right, I'm dumb. Folks, the Kickstarter, because the link was really long, and I actually made a Google short link, but Lily has made a personalized link. Really? That's what you made? All right, folks. If you go to tinyurl.com/kickmike, that'll take you to the Kickstarter page, and you can go ahead and fund the show. Yes. Oh, you're so happy with yourself. Look at you, bouncing your boobs all over. So excited. So that's tinyurl.com/kickmike. And you can fund the East Coast tour project, and we'll see how that works over the next 60 days. Thanks. You couldn't think of anything more horrible? Tiny. You should have made tinyurl.com/punch Mike in the face. And then even Tiny URL would have gone, that's not a tiny URL. He said, I don't care, just do it. You should, no, because I'm shortening it from punch Mike in the face, please, because I really want to see him get punched in the face. .com. All right, so go to tinyurl.com/kickmike and do what you can to fund the project and bring me to the East Coast. And although I might be there in a couple of weeks, as we all know, because my friend, the tennis champion, is going to bring me to town to see the World Series. That's exciting. Also, remember that there's the live chat every Thursday. You guys can check out the live chat. First of all, I told you about MikeSchmidtComedy.com. As I said, you can donate to the show. And if you go to the Joe Business page, the download sets are for sale year 1, year 2, and year 3, or a combination pack of them, which is the Lord of the Schmidt set. There's the links to the Zazzle store and the links to tweakedaudio.com/40. who I don't think I mentioned yet today, unfortunately, because I got to talking about banana gangbangs and stuff. But tweakedaudio.com/40 is an amazing site that gives you earbuds that work. I'm wearing them right now as we speak. My own. Last week I had Lily's pink ones in, but today I've got my more manly wood grains in. That's right. So that's why this show took a manly turn. But you can go to tweakedaudio.com/40. If you go to tweakedaudio.com, just remember to use the promo code 40 if you go ahead and purchase anything. If you buy earbuds, which are great, or any cock ring watches or anything that you want to get from their site. But remember, tweakedaudio.com/40 is a proud sponsor of the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast, and apparently always will be. It's a contest now. It's like a death match. It's just a waiting game to see who goes out of business first, me or tweakedaudio.com. My money's on me, sadly, particularly after efforts like this week's, as I basically drool over a woman's ass for 35 minutes. Checklist. All right. And then remember, the live chat is every Thursday. If you go to, I think it's Ramstead Online, there will be the link in the Westside 86 Jokers page on Facebook, which is my fan club page. And they get together on Thursday nights, and they listen to the show, and then they talk about it in a chat room, live chat while they're listening. And it's funny, a lot of them are women. I know Kathy shows up, and Mary shows up, and Liana will come, and Hannah has been there. Some people from Canada come, and Chris is there, of course, and a lot of people come. And I'm wondering how all of these women are going to get there and listen to me as I drool over Panama. That's not going to be good. I apologize beforehand to you ladies. Although I guess it isn't beforehand because you're now at the end of the show and you've heard it. So I'm not apologizing before. I'm apologizing after the fact. I'm glad you listened to that because I'm proud of it. Look, I look, folks. Sometimes you just have to talk about it. It's just you see things and they got to be discussed. And she was a thing. All right. Wow. Remember that the 40-Year-Old Boy Reddit page exists, and I've been there, but I've never posted. I will post this week. I swear to God, if only to go and put a link to tinyurl.com/kickmike. I'm sure the Reddit people want that on there, and I want it on there too. And now I'm going to watch the Phillies. I'm going to watch them, and they're over. Unless they're in the worst extra inning game of all time, they have finished, and I get to go home and watch it on the DVR and hopefully watch them clinch against the Cardinals. And I will say this: it's all right. I enjoy watching playoff baseball. Is fantastic and it's exciting, but it's annoying because they will interview all the stars of their new shows that are coming out. It's not so bad now because it's on TBS and TNT, but once it gets to Fox, literally they will cram these people in. It'll be like the National League Championship Series, and they're like, oh, an amazing matchup between the Phillies and the Milwaukee Brewers. And who's this in the stands? It's House. Oh, really? House is in the fucking stands. Nobody cares that House is there. House would never be in fucking Milwaukee if you hadn't flown him out there, but yet they jam an interview down your fucking throat. And that's news to them. Like it's like LA News, they went up talking about stars and constantly, and the stars, what are they going to learn? Not to talk. Because all you do is you get yourself in fucking trouble. Johnny Depp gave an interview to Vanity Fair and he said giving interviews is like getting raped. I'm going to guess somebody's never been raped. That's my guess. And if he has been raped, it's been by a pen, and it couldn't have been that painful, quite frankly. Not a lot of girth on a pen, Johnny. But then also, it becomes Hank Williams Jr. They talk to Hank Williams Jr. on Fox News, and he compares Obama to Hitler, and then people lose their minds. They freak out, and they get all sad and disappointed, and then he has to apologize and comes out and says he's sorry. And look, first of all, the big crime here is not that Hank Williams Jr. is comparing Obama to Hitler. Okay, that's not at all. The biggest crime, the biggest transgression against humanity here is that a news station is talking to a whiskey-soaked shit kicker about what he thinks about politics, and that anybody would take it fucking seriously at all. That's Hank Williams Jr. What are you getting upset about? Who the fuck cares? He could call Obama a racist name and compare him to fucking monkeys. I wouldn't give a shit because I just go, oh well, that's Hank Williams Jr. That's the all my rowdy friends are coming over tonight guy who actually grew a beard because he smashed his face falling off a cliff 20 years ago. I'm sure his brain is still fucking scrambled from that. This guy, he literally has the nickname Bocephus and likes it. Why the fuck do you think? I am just stupid enough to think that when people listen to me and they listen to the show, they should take my honesty and go, oh, wow, how refreshing his unvarnished honesty is. And the fact that he's willing to have a scorched earth policy and have no friends or no fucking future is so refreshing and great. But then they'll say to me, hey, do you need somebody raped with a stick? I go, yes, I do. Done. They'll take care of it for me. Thanks, Snake Rape. Oh, no one listens to show, bro? Wonder why? Wonder why no one listens to show, bro? I don't want to listen to show, bro. Please. Snake Rape, do it, do it, do it, do it.